Hello guys, my name is Vishal. In this video, let's have a look on creating this kind of text style. So I've just created this using some of the layer styles and all that. So let's have a look on this. So this is an example what I've got with me. So I'll just try to recreate this something very similar to this. Hope it will come out well. So for that, I'll start with a new document. So go to the new file, and then it's a 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. It's RGB color Illustrator document. So just create it, and you got this one. So this is the size at which I want to create. I may try different color combination here, because you have seen already the blue thing. So firstly, I would like to take a rectangle tool and then just click in the canvas, and then it will pop up this rectangle. You enter some sizes here, which will create a mere rectangle, which is here. You could see that, and this rectangle can be manually placed into the center like that, or make sure that you are aligning things to artboard, and then click this button, which will give me the movement, which will generally keep it center in the width, in the horizontal axis, and this button will align to the center in the vertical axis. So that keeps the canvas into the rectangle shape into the perfect size, touching to the edges precisely. Once that is done, I will select this gradient tool and then click it here. That's it. Once that is done, I can go and click this gradient tool and start giving some colors. So before going into that, I will select the radial gradient, which gives me the center to the sides in a circular way, gradiency. So I select this color point, color stop, you can say, double click, and then I can pick some color which is pretty much close to what I'm expecting, and this one also I'll just choose to a color which could be pretty much to that shade. So I just try to make it dark a little bit. I don't want it to be that much saturated. Maybe that should be fine. So I got some nice color, and I can also scale this canvas, this gradient to the edges, and then nicely blend, give that control over the fall off thing. So once that is done, select the background which you have created, and then go to this lock option which is there in the object, and then apply lock to the selection. You can use a keyboard shortcut of Control 2. So that's basically locked and good to go. So once that is done, select the text tool and start creating your own text there. So I will use a text called let's create it. Okay, I just changed this font. To Christmas collection font, which I have just now downloaded. I'll share the link of this font. and I can use the align tool again to keep it in the center. Okay, so I've got this text created, and then I'll apply the gradient and click over it. And if you notice, the gradient is not working, or it's not showing up on the text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the text, okay, and then click no fill, and then apply gradient, and then it should work. Okay, that's simple. So I open the gradient, and then I will apply some gradiency to it. Now I want something looking steel type or gold type, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I will open window, and then swatch libraries, then gradients, then metals. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of metals which are there here in the gradients. So I can go to the larger thumbnail so that you can have a clear look on the result. Okay, so you can select that text and you get that gradiency applied. Okay, it looks nice with different colors. So I prefer to pick this one, okay, which has got more character in reflection. So I select that one, and then I change the angle to 90 degrees, and you should be able to see there's some result here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the text and edit gradient, and then I can maybe place it and then scale it to the size like that. So if you feel that the highlights and all are in not in the right place, then you start editing it. So I can hold that point and just drag outside to delete certain points, and then just keep it simple as much as possible. Okay, so I just created some variation in this. Certain area is black and certain area is bright. So I can just start exploring this. Okay, okay, that should be fine. As you could see, I've just created some gradation there. It looks good. It's not looking too bright based on the background, but it's okay. We'll try to elevate it by adding more depth to it. So it looks very flat on the first go. So what I'm going to do is I'll open the windows and find out this palette called appearance. So that brings up this palette here, and what you're seeing is a fill effect which has been applied to it, and in the fill you could see there's a gradient. Okay, so which we are right now using it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more fill layer. So I need to add that below it. So first select that fill and then duplicate the selected item. So that makes a copy. The layer which is beneath, select that, go to FX, go to the path and use offset path. Okay, offset path is 10 pixels. I don't know whether it will work or not, but let me select it, and then go to the gradient. Okay, and then flip that gradient. Okay, make sure that you have selected that. Sometimes it may not look very clear, so first I need to check whether 10 pixels is um, okay or not, but make sure that you need to select it. Okay, sorry, I have not selected it. I select that, duplicate it, select the beneath one, path, offset path, and put a 4 pixel path there. Okay, you could see that thickness nicely. Okay, now select this particular gradiency. Okay, and then I've just swapped the direction of it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some bright color. Okay, I just want highlights on this text. Okay, okay, this highlight. I want one highlight going on the top. Okay, just try to control the whole thing precisely. So you could see I've got nice highlights coming on there. I will keep this thickness to 2.5 pixels. I just wanted it to be thick, very thin. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, so I've got nice highlight coming. It generally gives a sense of bevel, okay, to the text. Now select that text again. See, as you last time without selecting the text, when I was duplicating this, it was not really showing the effect on the result, and the reason was like it's doing somewhere else. Okay, let me select that and then create the copy. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply FX transform, and then use this tool called transform here, and then horizontal and vertical. So on vertical I'll put a minus 3 pixels, and then copies I will put a 15. So you can enable the preview, and you should see there is some depth here. Okay, some 3D effect has been achieved. So minus 3, I'll just put it to 3 so that it gives some thickness on the bottom. Okay, so 3 pixels is giving a lot of depth here. I wanted only 1 pixel. Okay, or you can put 0.5 if you feel that it's too much thick. So that should be okay. I can try playing with the number of copies. Okay, let's try putting some thickness here. So 1 pixel thickness, it looks nice. I say okay. The highlight gradient and the stroke gradient looks same, so I just wanted it to be different. So select that and then swap the gradient. Okay, so the highlight color and the gradation color is different now, so that adds more again character to the whole thing. if you could see, this is like bottom lit. I can put a shadow on the bottom side, because in lighting I'm going to do that thing from that side. But again, let me try keeping a darker value so that it should be sort of bounce light coming on the bottom. Okay, so so far so good. Now I'm going to select the fill again and then again duplicate it. Okay, this time we will select the fill and then change the color to the black. That layer is now completely black, and again we will select the transform and put 1.25 pixels. So you could see there is a small drop in this, and then I will apply a Gaussian blur of 15 is okay. I will add one more copy of this, duplicate it, and in this Gaussian blur we will increase the blur effect radius higher so that you get more, and also I just increase the distance pretty high, and this layer opacity can be reduced. Sorry, here is opacity. So I am reducing the shadow opacity, the secondary shadow. I've kept two shadows. One is generally in 3D there is something called ambient occlusion. So one is ambient occlusion shadow and another one is a soft area shadow. Again, this text is not popping up, so let me go and then choose the appearance again, select the first fill and also open the gradient, and then try to move this. Okay, just to make it stand out, I'm just making the colors little bit on the lighter side. Okay, again bottom rim light, the light from the bottom, that keeps it more clear. Okay, so just see, it looks almost chrome. The idea is to understand how a text which is made with chrome reacts to certain lighting conditions, and then how it may look, and then trying to recreate is what the whole idea. It is always good to observe such things. You might notice this kind of chrome text on cars. See how they respond to the light and different lighting conditions, and try to recreate. Take a photograph, keep it as a reference, and then recreate that, and it should give you something really cool. Okay, however, the tools are very effective to get that result, so make use of that as much as possible. Okay, thank you.